One gift for birthday and Christmas? No problem. I love birthdays and have always loved celebrating them, both for myself and for others. I love to give gifts as much as I love to receive them. But I was born in December, so it's always been an uphill battle getting people to celebrate mine or separate it from the religious holidays happening that month. For me, it's not about the gift, but the principle. I've had several friendships where I was expected to help plan and pay for expensive gifts, dinners, trips, etc., for a spring or summer birthday, only to be told what an inconvenience it was to have to do something for a December birthday. I've been called greedy, childish, and have even had people ask me why I can't just combine my birthday with someone else to make it easier. It makes the friendship feel one-sided, and makes me feel like an inconvenience. I don't get so upset about it anymore, but I do have some firm birthday rules. One, you don't have to get me anything, but if you do, just pick one, birthday or Christmas. Keep them separate, to whatever the agreement is. Let's make it mutual. If no beta gifts the agreement, it should hold for all birthdays involved, not just the inconvenient ones in December. Well, a best friend and I recently got into an argument about it because she felt I was being selfish for wanting two gifts in the same month. When I said we don't have to do birthdays, she insisted that she should get a separate gift for her birthday in March because it's a different time of year. I pointed out that this was unfair, but she wouldn't hear it. I jokingly said in the end that if she gave me one gift for the month, I would purposely wait until March and give her an empty box for her birthday. She said sure, go for it, and, as promised, she gave me one gift for both days, and told me to stop being so childish. Oh, March comes around, and she has a little get together, and the time comes to open gifts. When she unwrapped mine and saw that it was empty, I said Merry Christmas, and she got really upset. She said I was being petty and childish and that I was going out of my way to ruin her birthday. The other guests seemed really upset too, and some of our mutual friends want me to apologize. I am refusing to do so, and we haven't spoken since. TLDR, I have a December birthday, and people call me greedy for wanting to celebrate it separately from the holidays. A friend made a point of only giving me one gift for both while still demanding a separate gift for her birthday in March, so I gave her an empty box as a birthday gift and said Merry Christmas when she opened it, and now she's upset at me for ruining her birthday. Aida, for asking my husband to file a police report against my deceased Phil. My husband M30 and I F27 are preparing to buy our first home. We both work full-time, making above minimum wage, but not enough that either of us can get a home with our single income. Yesterday, in a conversation with the bank, we were informed that there are 4 collections accounts in my husband's name, all going back to 2018. Power, internet, and to credit cards. After a few hours, we were able to link each of these accounts to his father's previous address. The bill is just shy of 6,000. After multiple conversations, we have realized the only way to clear this debt from causing issues to his credit rating is to file a police report for fraud. His father died suddenly last September, and my husband doesn't want to tarnish his father's name and is afraid his family will look down on him for doing this. He is on the fence of how this will look if it gets out. I look at it differently. We took a massive hit paying for the funeral. Phil had no money and no life insurance. I know it's his dad, but we will be years recovering from the implications of this. None of the recovery agencies are willing to give us a bill paid in full. And even if we do pay this debt, we will lose the down payment we have busted our behinds to raise again over the past 7 months. We aren't even close to having the buying power we had last September because we only saved about half of our original down payment. So, Aida, for asking him to make the police report. It's not an ideal situation, but how much more can I let his father's poor financial decision in life impact our future, especially now that he's gone? Clarification for some of the most repeated questions. As some of you might have gathered, yes, my husband has heritage reasons for trying to honor his father even in death. He is also a junior, he is an only child and was raised only by his mother. His father did not sign his birth certificate, but was a large part of his life. His father's estate is gone to probate court to be settled. Because of his accent and his dislike for confrontation, my husband actually had me speak to everyone yesterday. Collection agencies did not have our address or his phone number, which is why we have not even hounded. Everyone I spoke to has told me they have had no success in reaching him since they acquired the debt. So no, he wasn't hiding something. He didn't know. We have had complications with the credit bureau for the last 3 years trying to access my husband's credit report. We have had to go to the police station and show several pieces of ID, send in letters to confirm his identity. It took the banks to get us to do everything again to resolve the issue. Originally, we thought it was because there was no activity on his credit report. Now we know that at least one account used his father's SSN with my husband's DA and created issues. Finally, for those people who want to know what the price of my bad feelings are, I just paid $18,000 out of pocket to make sure this man wasn't buried in a cardboard box. I love my Phil, and had he told us about his financial struggles, we would have helped him. This isn't even about the money. Yesterday, I asked every agency if they would just put paid in full next to the bill, and I would pay it off. I'll save the money again. They wouldn't take the collections off his credit score. It's not 6 months worth saving that I'm concerned about. It's 3 to 5 years that record can stick to his account, which will stop us from purchasing any time in the near future. Finally, my husband needed a minute, but he called me today at lunch and said he has to do what is right for our future. He is going forward with the fraud report this evening. I taught for saying no to my boyfriend's friend moving in. Me 27F and my boyfriend 29M share a 2-bedroom townhouse together. It's small but good for 2 people just starting. After I got home from work today, my boyfriend lets me know he told his friend it's okay for him to move it until he gets back on his feet. He also let me know he told his friend he didn't have to pay anything towards bills. I currently pay 80% of the bills in the house. I suggested he at least put money towards the groceries, as adding, another adult will change the weekly budget. He then lets me know his friends for kids will be coming to stay, mind you, in our small 2-bedroom townhouse every other weekend. I explained to my boyfriend this greatly impacts our privacy. I explained as a nurse working 12-16 hours days, I like to come home and rest. I also value my home being a quiet place to relax. I also want to add his friend is not homeless. He does have a place with roommates, he just doesn't like them. He also makes more money than I do, so I taught for not wanting him and his kids part. Time to move into our place. Update, I have read all your comments. I know, I'm a horrible people pleaser, and my love language is to take care of people, and oftentimes it's taken advantage of. I currently live 5.5 hours away from my family and didn't want them to worry by telling them what was going on. I decided last night to call my sister and mom. I decided it's a blessing he found someone to move in because he has someone to help him pay bills, my mom's words, so I can move out and not feel guilty he could end up homeless. I found a friend to stay with for my 2 weeks I'm going to put in at work, then I'm going to be moving home. My parents are more than happy for me to come back for the time being. At one point it was hard to leave because everything was in my name: hydro, water, internet, everything had to be paid off before I was able to take my name off of these. Believe me, I've tried to leave more than once, but being 5.5 hours away from your friends and family makes it hard to ask for help because you don't want them to worry. My mom and dad are going to help me get everything taken out of my name. I know I'm an adult, but the only other place I rented was all included, so I have no idea how to get my name off of things, but no time like the present to learn. Aida for letting my husband struggle financially. So, just to begin this, I firmly believe once you're married or even in a committed relationship, the my money is your money saying applies. Anyway, my husband has been struggling with mental health issues, ADHD, and severe anxiety on and off for about 3 years now, and it's gotten bad when we moved back to our hometown about 2 years ago. He had a great paying job and would take days off here and there because of this, but overall enjoyed going and had no other issues. Fast forward to approx 19 months ago, we found out I was preggo, now have a 9-month-old. All of a sudden he couldn't hold a job, would get a job and not even be able to go on the first day, and was just lying to everyone about it. He'd tell his mom or whoever he'd been working. Eventually it got to a point where his account was overdrawn, and he kept needing to borrow money from his mom. Just to be clear, I pay rent, utilities, groceries, both of our phone bills, his credit card payments, all from my maternity leave money. The only things he's responsible for are his truck payments and his insurance. His mom was giving him money every month for this, but he kept spending it on beer and weed, and so he'd need to keep borrowing more, and last week she finally cut him off. I had been begging him to see a therapist this entire time, and he has had an anxiety medication, but with the drinking I'm not sure if it even works properly. Anyhow, here's the Aida part. On top of being in the hole and not being able to dig himself out, instead of continuing to look for work or help provide for his family, he sleeps in and rarely helps with our son, and when he does he's so frustrated when our son is fussy and gives up. My dad has been sending me $20 here and there to do things for myself because I'm so stressed, and I saved enough to get my hair done for the first time in years. My husband is now calling me in awe because I won't give him the $150 I've saved to help with his truck payment and instead want to do something for me and get my hair done. So Aida,